Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Backpack Trader Training Room for Thursday, February 22nd, 2024. Please note the required risk disclosure. This room is for educational and information purposes only. It is not to be considered individual financial advice. Trading of this type carries substantial risks and should only be attempted with funds you can afford to do without. All right, we will need that again. We have a crude oil inventory report at 11 today. So we'll set that aside. Crude, just after 3 setups that canceled, we pick up a long trade 21 minutes into the session, 21.41. And that goes through both targets, 11 and 18 ticks for 29 this morning. One and done session, just took a little longer than usual. And we have unleaded. Please do say hello in the chat, by the way. We get a setup 902.20. The long setup here, I'm fairly sure that would have been avoidable, but if not, it was a loss of a risk of 37 ticks, 74 tick loss. That one definitely was avoidable. It was a 10-second bar and way up above the short entry. So we take this long trade. Target 1 traders get 34, target 2 53. Our entry was 011 and we trail out at 038, so 27 there, so 80 ticks for target 2, 34 and 27, 61 for target 1. So target 1 traders would actually need the short. Target 2 traders would be POQ. Target 1 traders pick up another target 1 for 48 ticks. This one gets 014 to 977, so 23 and 14 is 37. On top of 48, 95 ticks on that trade for target 1 traders, and that gets you positive, so positive for both. And we'll go back down to the micro NQ, bring that up. And we're less than a minute away from market open. And there's market open. Got news coming up at 9:45. And that goes, Micro Russell goes too far too fast. We have a trade here on, well, I would say that one's a no trade. 6 seconds and we were well above the entry. And that goes to money management, so it comes off the table. Soybeans has gone too far. We'll look for something new there. Long trade right at the open for micro NQ, but we wait 4 minutes on that market. Pound Aussie in a long trade, this is going to be a stop and reverse. That'll be at 52. So that should keep us in. We have a possible short on the micro Russell. And we're still in the long trade on the pound Aussie. Short trade on the YM. Definitely getting in that with it pulling back up. Russell triggers into the short trade there. Oh, it looks like the Russell took a full stop out after almost getting the money management. And that's our 14 ticks. Target one and break even, or the 1 tick break even stop. Actually, that may be more than 1 tick. Anyway, the YM is done. Target one and stopping out on the trailer. 31 tick target. Entry was at 883. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, we did pick up more. Trailed out at 873. So 10 ticks on the trailer. 31, yeah, 41 on the morning. One and done session. Now we have a long trade on the micro Russell that has touched the entry. I didn't see how fast it did that. And hits the stop, so either an avoided trade or a full stop out. So I will take that as 2 losses at this point. And a short trade. I'll go back and look at that second trade, make sure it was a loss and not an avoided trade. Okay, triggering in after we hit the stop, so this is a valid trade. Let's see where our sitting at target 1 right now. That's 1.3. Target 1 is so 03.5 is our money management level. Minimum of 14 ticks. Hit target 1 but didn't get the 14th tick. Target 1 was only 13. There's target money management. Looking for target 3 for a win here. And we did trigger short on the pound Aussie. So the pound Aussie is short. Micro NQ is still. We're in our time now, our trade session time. Soybeans with no trades yet. YM with the wind short that we got, that puts us POQ. And a break-even stop out on the micro NQ. And a long trade. That came back to our entry. And again, so in the trade, I need another tick on that again. So 802. Not quite there yet. All right, 8.2 for our 14 ticks. And we did get that now. Soybeans has a potential long trade. Have not gotten the crossover to confirm the white trade. And there is money management and a stop out, break-even stop out on the. That's 2 break-evens. Definitely 1 loss, possibly a second. Crude on a strong up move. We are done there. It's actually still trailing the trade that we took target 1 and target 2 wins on. Looks like we may get a long trade on soybeans right now. Calculator, if we close up, is going to, it's going to track that, but we stopped out intrabar on the micro NQ, or not on the micro Russell. And there's our long trade, but we're well past it, and we just hit money management, so that comes off. That's off the table. And so the soybeans trade is off the table. No trades yet on the micro NQ. Let's see if we can take a look at this micro Russell. All right, we want to take a look at this long trade and see if that was executable or not. So there is our timeline, and then we'll make it a 4-second chart. And we'll have to back up to based on that, looks to me like that is an avoidable trade. 8 seconds when we were below the entry and never came back up. So that one's avoidable. So only one loss then, and 2 break-evens so far today. And micro NQ with a long trade. Big trailer on crude. Looks like micro Russell stopped out. The calculator just stopped out. We actually stopped out on the break even stop intra bar. YM with pullback. Micro Russell and micro NQ both kind of unsure, back and forth at the moment, and is stuck in this current bar. Both micro NQ and the micro Russell are catapult charts on custom Renko bars. Micro Russell is a 1.5 point brick with a 0.5 point offset. A 15 tick brick, 5 point tick offset for NinjaTrader. Micro NQ is a 12 point bar or brick size with a 3 point offset, 48 ticks and 7 ticks. So it takes 84 ticks to reverse from the prior close. Oh, that's right, I missed something on there. On the pound Aussie, 52 would be a major key level, so that actually is going to come down to 49. We may still be long. Not anymore. And money management on the micro NQ stopped to 8.95 and a quarter. And target 2 and trailing now 9.13. A new session high for the micro NQ. YM also just below the session high. In the session high at 9.46 on the YM. So we wait. Short on pound Aussie, 9.15 3/4 for the micro NQ, to hitting target 3 now on our first trade of the day. Getting a solid up move here. After that kind of a move, on the 9 at 20 minutes after 9, actually basically 9:30 to 9:40, I would be worried that we're not going to see a whole lot of movement at the 11 o'clock crude oil inventory report, but we'll see what happens between now and then. And the micro NQ moving again, reaching for target 4. Stop at 9.24 1/4. And we have a long trade on the micro Russell. And plenty we just triggered into that again, so definitely in it. So micro Russell is long, micro NQ is long, pound Aussie is short. Trying to get through support here. Looks like we've got a swing level back about 4:45 this morning. Micro Russell taking some heat here. Micro NQ still looking at, yeah, micro Russell takes a full stop. That's loss number 2. 2 break-evens, 2 losses. Micro NQ making target 4, 9.27 1/4. Good morning, Robert. And 41 3/4 the micro NQ. Short trade on the micro Russell. And a full stop, another full stop. That's loss number 3. And that ends the session on the micro Russell. 3 losses and 2 break-evens today. Difficult day on the micro Russell. Micro NQ, on the other hand, in its first trade of the day, going through all three of its profit targets 2, 3, and 4, trailing at 9.47 3/4. Big win on trade number 1. With the crude oil inventory report at 11 today, 10 a.m. session is optional. Maybe try to get it in the first half hour. But given we have the inventory report coming up at 11, and we've just had a strong up move and it's going sideways at the moment, Micro NQ stopping out on the trailer and now going short for its second trade of the morning. Definitely in the trade, came back up to the entry. And another short on the Micro Russell, but we are done with that session. And all three markets coming down now. And my money management on the Micro NQ, and looks like we've just about got target 2. Yep, well, we got target 2. So that is a second win. 28.5 points. Stop at 939 3/4. And crude rolling over and coming down now. Finally stopping out of the trade from about 9:20 this morning. And target 3 on the Micro NQ, trailing now at 916 flat. A couple of short trades on crude filtered out by the crossover filter. We're still within 8 bars of the 50 crossing over the 200. And stopping out, the Micro Russell trade stops out. One we're not participating in, 10.1. Pound Aussie is running Spotlight. Spotlight using an 80 tick range bar or point, yeah, 0.00. So it's an 8 pip range bar. So 0.0008 for a TradeStation momentum bar. Micro NQ stopping out. That stopped out the 916, I believe. No, 913.25 was where we stopped out. So targets 2, target 3, and almost target 2 on the trailer for 2 more positions. Soybeans, no trades yet this morning. Micro Russell just was a little bit out of sync. We got 3 losses and 2 break-evens before now getting a win, and looks like it's heading for a second. No, that's a break-even stop out. Micro Russell up over 2,000 again. And a long setup on the Micro NQ. There is a possible short trade on soybeans. $11.61 for the entry. Micro NQ has not triggered into the long yet. Pound Aussie testing the 50 EMA again. And triggering short on the soybeans trade. The magenta bar on crude in the top center indicates that that's the 8th bar since the crossover. So the crossover filter now comes off. Let's see, where did we go? What did we lose on this one? 73 to 49. 24 ticks. So we're down 120 pips on if trading all 5 positions, 4 targets and a trailer. long trade on the micro NQ is progressing toward money management at target 1. You'll see if it can continue its winning ways this morning. YM up over 39,000, setting new session highs 39,056. Things definitely slowing down around 10 o'clock. Micro Russell with a bit of a push upward there. Let's see if the micro NQ comes along. YM appearing to be taking another run at a session high. This would be a valid 10 a.m. crude trade. 10 a.m. mini session. That's not a bad, given the move it's already had, testing the 50 and then coming back up. That's not a bad trade. And a 10 tick minimum to target 1. Stop and reverse to short on the micro NQ. So our entry was at 910 flat. I'd make it 909. So we take a partial loss. Crude hitting target 1, so that's going to be a quick one and done. Trailing stop at 78.04. Soybeans still in the short. Needing another push down to get to target 1. We can get to target 1 before we get to a session low. One tick away from money management and target on soybeans. It's a cyan, a dark cyan, I believe, is the color. But yes, the line I have right here is that was money management and target 1. So that's going to be a win on the first trade. 9 ticks on that. We've got 3 positions remaining. Targets 2, 3, and targets 2, 3, and trail. The reason that the dot is a little off color is because there's also the trail X indicator at the same point. That's actually orange, so you get the orange and the green dot at the same point in that case. And a full loss. That's a second loss on the micro NQ, and we come back to long. And we did stop out on the crude trade, so 10 ticks on the target, 1 tick on the trailer, 11 ticks, but it's a positive session nonetheless. Pound Aussie testing the 50 EMA again. Came up to it, pulled down, is back up to it. Yeah, I use that cyan line on the charts to mark money management. In this case, target 1 is also a take profit target for the soybeans. And money management on the micro NQ stopped to 928 1/4. This is not a very big trade on soybeans, but not small, not terribly small either, with 9 ticks to target 1. 9, 14, and 20 if we get to the other 14 and 20 if we get to the other targets. Pound Aussie definitely taking heat. Going up through both the 50 and 200. We're going to close at the 200, and we're currently sitting above it. And we get a break-even stop out. So 2 wins, 2 break-evens, 1 loss. We've got, I'm sorry, 2 wins, 2 losses, and a break-even. 1 more trade on the micro NQ this morning. All right, there's our stop on soybeans at 61.5. Very slow price action right at the moment. YM in a nice little short trade there. That is well outside of our trade plan at this point. A long trade on the micro NQ. A long setup. Still hasn't triggered in. This will be the last trade if it triggers. It's the stop, but that will not cancel the trade. Trade doesn't cancel unless we get a crossover back to the short side. YM short trade stopped out, and looks like, yeah, we stopped out. We hit 61.50, stopped out of the soybeans trade, so that's a one and done power of quitting, 12 ticks or 3 points. So just $150 trade today, but it's a positive session, and we come back tomorrow. So we have one trade left on the micro NQ, and we have the pound Aussie that's still in its second trade of the day, approaching the stop. Okay, remember I said that long trade is still valid even though we had a close below the stop. And we've not had a crossover. So this is still a valid long if it hits the entry. $9.52 flat. All right. And now we have the now let's see. And it looks like we'll have a crossover on this bar on the micro NQ. That would cancel the long trade. It is still valid at this point, but if we close with the crossover here, it will cancel. and stopping out on the pound Aussie. So that's, we got a 5-tick adjustment. And a 27 tick rip, 27 pip rip, 27, so 32 pip, 160 tick pips. So we're down 280 after the 2 trades. Not a good morning. And there is a short trade on the micro NQ. That is our final trade of the morning there. And that is a sizable trade. Just notice that I haven't got my graphics symmetrical. The long stop and the short stop don't match, trailing stops aren't matching up. Got the hash for the short and still got the dot for the long. And that's a full stop out. So that is loss number 3 as well as trade number 6. So micro NQ is done. And so the only chart left this morning, still taking trades, is the pound Aussie. So I am going to go ahead and call it a morning. I will see you back in about 30 minutes for the crude oil inventory report at 11 o'clock. I'll probably open up a few minutes before that. So unless there are other questions, we'll see everybody tomorrow morning. Or later this morning. Oh, you're most welcome, Robert. Mixed bag on the micro NQ this morning. I'd have to run through the numbers. But that one's possibly that's going to be fairly close to a break even, I suspect. The two winning trades were really strong. All right, everybody have a good morning, and we will see you in about half an hour.